It is debate night. We are on our way to Detroit. I'm starting to like doing this program sitting in the car. Also, Brennan, former CIA director under Obama, was in Europe when the secret society to try and bring President Trump down was meeting there. We don't know how far this criminal conspiracy is going to go. We just know that Mueller was never going to figure it out. I'm Randall Terry. This is Voice of Resistance. Hi friend, welcome to the program. I am driving, as you can see. This is not a simulated green screen. I'm actually driving. We are headed north on I-75, leaving Cincinnati. We're on our way to Detroit. We're going there because the Democrat freak show, commonly referred to as a Democrat debate, is going to be held in the Fox Theater, not related to Fox News, the historic Fox Theater in downtown Detroit. CNN is hosting it. It's 2 nights, tonight and tomorrow night. So we are going to do several things. We're going to film our television show there, and we'll be showing you footage that we gathered today, and tomorrow we'll be showing you that footage on Thursday night show. We're going to protest against the Democrats, to call them what they are: baby killers, anti-Christian bigots, enemies of righteousness, enemies of marriage, socialists, communists, people who want to enslave us by taking away our God-given right to self-protection that is enshrined in our Second Amendment. We're going to have fun. We're going to protest the candidates. We're also going to just be a thorn in the side of CNN. Got some young people in the car, my sons to be precise, who are going to be singing CNN sucks over and over again at the venue. We're going to be gathering all the footage that we can for some really cool music videos that we're putting together. And hopefully, we're going to be getting some press coverage. That's not in my control, but hopefully we can provide something that some of the media outlets believe or feel is newsworthy. We'll see what happens. I genuinely ask you for your prayers. For those of you that have prayed for us, for those of you that have supported us financially to get ready for this trip and to take this trip, I thank you with all my heart. It is my strong belief that, well, Edmund Burke said it, all that is necessary to triumph is that good men do nothing. All that is necessary for evil to triumph, is that good men do nothing. And as I watch the country devolve into insanity, I'm struck by the fact that so many of our religious leaders are evangelical superstars with the TV shows and the radio shows and the huge churches, the mega churches, and our Roman Catholic bishops and our clergy at every level. I'm struck by the fact that so few of them have mud and dirt and blood on their faces from actually being in a fight. It's not enough that I say something on my television show. That's easy. It's not enough that I say something behind a pulpit when I'm in a safe environment. You can know the value of a soldier. You know the value of a man by the enemies he keeps, by the scars on his back, by the scars of battle, things that went wrong, things that were successful, that went right. I have a friend who raises a lot of money, who has raised money for decades for Christian right organizations. And he said to me, look, this is back in 2012, he said, the re-election of President Obama ensures money coming in to the religious right and to conservative organizations. And he told me when Bush the Younger was elected in the year 2000, that fundraising collapsed, or all but collapsed, for religious right-wing organizations. Because Clinton was gone. We didn't have an Al Gore presidency. We had a conservative Christian president. And so the need to raise money for opposition went away. It was about money. He also said, or rather, also what happened was that once the nation endured the attacks on 9/11, everyone had to become an immediate expert on Islam to raise money on Islam, because that's where the money was. I'm telling you this because you can raise a ton of money. Someone can raise a ton of money. An organization can raise a ton of money. But if they don't have enemies, if they don't have scars, then they're not being militant. We're called to be the church militant. They're not fighting. A man is known by the enemies he keeps. You can tell a warrior because of the scars. They've been in battle. They've paid a price. They have made sacrifices. So, one of the reasons that we're going up here to Detroit is because it's not enough for me to just talk about these things. We've got to have boots on the ground. We've got to be face to face with our adversaries. And I'll say one other thing before I take a break, then come back with a whole bunch of news about Brennan, about Epstein. I mean, we've got some stuff you're going to want to hear about. But the one other thing I want to mention is our duty is to confront evil. Jesus said, I will build my church and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. Gates are for defense. So if we're really being what we're supposed to be, the Bible says that for this reason was the Son of God manifested, that he might destroy the works of the devil. Jesus came to destroy the works of the devil. Child killing, socialism, communism, slavery. These things are all works of the devil. Jesus came to destroy those things. Well, we're his hands and his feet right now. We're supposed to actually be on the attack. We're supposed to be aggressive for righteousness. The gates of hell will not prevail against us. We're called to fight. We can fight peacefully, but we still have to fight. So, my prayer is that what we're doing as we go to Detroit serves as an inspiration and an example to you. For you to ponder how you can fight evil in your community, how you can stand against the militant enemies of righteousness. And they're getting bolder, people. Make no mistake. They are getting bolder. They are getting more aggressive. President Trump's election was a reprieve, and it exposed the level, the depth that the roots of evil have taken in our culture, in media, in academia. We got to lay the axe to the root of the trees, people. We've got to fight evil and replace it with righteousness. Get these people out of positions of power. Get the levers of power out of their hands, or they're going to prevail. Trump will go. We'll get some godless left-wing president who gives amnesty to millions of illegal immigrants. The Democrat Party is going to dominate the playing field because of illegal immigrants, giving amnesty and citizenship. And then America as we know it will cease to exist. Am I being too epic? I don't think so. I mean, if you do, let it play out and see what happens. But it hasn't gone so well for us for the past 30 or 40 years, has it? But there have been an awful lot of people raising an awful lot of money promising solutions. I got to take a break. I'm way over. Got a lot of news to talk about when we come back. Pray for us. Please don't go away. Introducing Roxy Guitar. If you're a guitar or bass player, whether you play acoustic or electric, check out Roxy Guitar. I've been playing for over 40 years and seen guitar stores all over America. I've never seen a store like Roxy Guitar. Roxy Guitar has over 700 guitars in stock, over 1,500 pedals, over 200 amps. For the beginner or price-conscious buyer, there's Michael Kelly guitars. For the serious player or professional, Roxy Guitar has the finest selection of guitar lines I've ever seen. You know I love Warrior guitars. Roxy Guitar has over 100 Warriors in stock. They have Heritage, G&L, Gretsch, John Sears, BC Rich, Duesenberg, Dean, legendary guitars at great prices, including pre-owned Gibsons, Fenders, and more. Let them know you heard about Roxy Guitar from Randall Terry and receive 10% or more off your purchase on select items. Go to roxyguitar.com. Welcome back, friend. In case you just flipped through the dial and you found me, I am driving right now. There's 10 of us in this vehicle. We're on our way to Detroit to take a stand against evil and evildoers at the Democrat debates. Okay, the fallout from the Mueller testimony is so fun to watch. It really is, because watching him was painful. The Democrats had this illusion, this fantasy, that when Mueller testified before Congress, it was going to open up this whole avenue of impeachment. Not only did it not open up an avenue of impeachment, it closed the avenue, closed the door to impeachment. President Trump's not going to be impeached. But there's more. It became clear the more Mueller talked that he didn't know what the heck was going on. He didn't write that report. He didn't know the level of evil that was going on in his own office. There were elements in that report that he didn't even know what they were referring to. He looked like an idiot. He looked foolish. So the question that is now being asked, and who was in charge? Clearly Mueller wasn't in charge. He was getting a paycheck. He had his name attached, but he was not in charge. So it'll be interesting to see what the Barr investigation, the Attorney General, as well as the Solicitor General, what they uncover as far as what corruption was going on inside of the FBI with fake warrants, with the fake dossier. But something big came up in the last 48 hours, and that is the fact that the former CIA director, John Brennan, was in Europe when the secret society, that's what they called themselves, when the secret society had its first meeting after the election. This involves the Steele dossier, that fake dossier. It involves wiretaps. It involves criminal fraudulent warrants before the court to get to applications before FISA courts, the spy courts, to get information on President Trump and his associates. That secret society, we know, met in England. What we did not know was that Brennan himself was in Europe at the time. Now, they have not yet closed the loop and showed that he was in that meeting, but they're going to try and find out. We'll see. Brennan was key to the entire false accusations against President Trump regarding collusion. Brennan was key in trying to orchestrate a palace coup. A palace coup to destroy President Trump and get him out of office. So we'll see what happens. On another news matter that's of, in some ways, more interesting, very dark. I have not dealt with the millionaire Jeff Epstein, the pedophile, the guy who's in prison, who's in jail right now awaiting trial up in New York. If you've been following it, you know who the man is. Well, what the media is trying to ignore, and some elements of the press are covering it, is this man made repeated visits to the White House during Clinton's administration. He had Bill Clinton come to his sex island, and he's got the black book. So there are people now saying that there are elements inside of the government, elements in the deep state that want him dead. They do not want him leaving prison alive because of what he knows and the dirt that he has on other politicians. Some very powerful people right now might be having fitful, sleepless nights because Epstein, in his testimony, could put him in prison. I've got to take a break. I'll be right back with more news. Don't go away.
I also want to speak tonight directly to Muslims throughout the world. We respect your faith. Its teachings are good and peaceful. And those who commit evil in the name of Allah blaspheme the name of Allah.
We have reaffirmed again and again that the United States is not and never will be at war with Islam. Islam teaches peace.
Islam is a religion of peace. They are not Muslims, they are monsters.
We've been told that Muslim terrorists have hijacked the peaceful religion of Islam. But Islamic art and literature tell a very different story. To know the truth, we only have to study the narrative of the founder of Islam, Mohammed, in his own words.
Perhaps you've heard about the horrific murder of an Italian policeman. There were a couple American teenage boys, 18 years old, who were in Italy. So clearly either they or their family had a little bit of money. They stole a knapsack, figured out who owned it, and then said to the person, "We'll give it back to you for 100 euros and a gram of cocaine or something." The person who lost the knapsack went to the police. The police did some kind of a sting operation. The sting operation went badly wrong. And one of these kids stabbed the police officer to death. So they're in prison right now. And in a picture, put the picture up for me. This picture came out and people are horrified. Left-wingers are horrified that this boy is sitting there. Look, he is a legal adult. He committed a murder. He will never get out of an Italian jail. He will die in an Italian prison. The only thing I want to say about this, besides the fact that we need to grieve for his widow, this policeman's widow, and his child who will now grow up fatherless, is that those boys, at least the murderer, but if they're, depending on how, if both of them were involved, they deserve to be executed. The mercy is that they will spend the rest of their life alive in an Italian hard labor camp. They deserve to die. They committed a cold-blooded murder. And the fact that these lunatics on the left are bemoaning and whining about the fact that this kid is sitting there in the picture blindfolded, that's what they're upset about. Grieve for the widow, grieve for the child, grieve for this poor Italian police officer, and may God rest his soul and grant him the joy of life eternal. On more comedic news, Senator Rand Paul from Kentucky has joined the fray concerning Ilhan Omar and said that he would help pay for a plane ticket for her to go to Somalia. Now, he did not say send her back. I think he just wants to help pay for a 1 week or a 2 week visit so that she can go to Somalia, hopefully find a safe hotel to stay in, travel around the country, provide her with good security because she could be kidnapped. There's a lot of really devout Muslims there that probably don't like her. But let her go. Let her go back to Somalia and see what her parents helped her escape. Then come back and maybe she'll have just a little bit more concern for our country. If she starts a GoFundMe page, I'll give $100. I'll give $100 to pay for airfare, pay for security, pay for all of it. Maybe I would love to go with my camera crew. We could go. We could so go to Somalia. You want to go to Somalia? You want to go to Somalia? I've got to take a break. I'll be right back. I'm going to Somalia with you, Ilhan. I'll go. I'll go. I'll raise money on my show for you. Can we please go to Somalia? Please? What Would Mohammed Do? Islamic Terrorism Explained is the best movie series documentary ever produced on the life of Muhammad and Islam. How do I know? Because it's what critics are saying. John Moore, radio host and author, said, "I learned more from what would Mohammed do about Islam and Islamic terrorism than I've learned from everything I ever read and watched in my entire life." Best-selling author Dr. Bill Warner said, "What Would Mohammed Do is the best movie series, TV production on the life of Mohammed and Islamic terrorism that has ever been produced." Friends, this is what the experts are saying. No one has ever done what we've done. I encourage you to get 1, 2, 4 copies. Call 304-289-3700. That's 304-289-3700, or order it at the address or the website that you see on the screen.
Introducing Roxy Guitar. If you're a guitar or bass player, whether you play acoustic or electric, check out Roxy Guitar. I've been playing for over 40 years and seen guitar stores all over America. I've never seen a store like Roxy Guitar. Roxy Guitar has over 700 guitars in stock, over 1,500 pedals, over 200 amps. For the beginner or price-conscious buyer, there's Michael Kelly guitars. For the serious player or professional, Roxy Guitar has the finest selection of guitar lines I've ever seen. You know I love Warrior guitars. Let them know you heard about Roxy Guitar from Randall Terry and receive 10% or more off your purchase on select items. Go to roxyguitar.com.
Welcome back, friend. This segment is not appropriate for children, but it's something that y'all need to know. So tell the little ones to leave the room. The Guardian, great newspaper by the way, broke a story yesterday and did have comment from Apple, namely that Siri, Apple product, is recording a lot of things that it should not be recording, including the intimate activities between a husband and a wife, and intimate activities between people who are not married, whatever. Siri doesn't know. So conversations between patients and doctors. Siri is sending the tapes, the data, to Apple. Apple employees and subcontractors for Apple are listening to this stuff. You want to talk about intrusion, invasion of privacy, the possibility for blackmail, to humiliate people, any number of things going wrong, but these godless devices, Siri, can you hear me, sweetie? Can you hear me? These godless devices, God help us, just one more way in which they are being used right now to spy on us. All it takes is a government warrant, fake warrant for that matter. Got Democrats showing that they're willing to break the law to intrude into your life. You know, speaking about the Democrats, in the closing moments here of this program, if you just join me, I'm driving, we're on our way to Detroit to be present at the Democrat debates to oppose these godless candidates. Please remember, it was the Democrats who fought to keep slavery going. It was Democrat-driven politicians, Democrat Party politicians, who were in charge of slave states that started the Civil War. It was Democrats who gave the Jim Crow laws. It was Democrats who fought against the Civil Rights Act. It was Democrats who started the Ku Klux Klan. That's the history of the Democrat Party. Under Johnson, President Johnson, the Democrat, he was smart enough to figure out a way to flip that with the welfare state, so that millions of African Americans, Black Americans, whatever you want to call them, became addicted to government money. And they went from having the slave plantations to the government plantation. And now they want those African Americans to stay loyal to the Democrat Party. What I can't figure out, and I'm out of time, what I can't figure out is, why do they hate righteousness so much? Why do they want power? Why don't they want a free culture? Why do they want to control us? It has to do with their hatred of the laws of God. Look at the core of what they support. Killing our babies, sexual perversion, the welfare state, socialism, communism. I've got to go. Go to our website, pray for us, support us if you can, please. All right, go to randallterry.com. We'll be in touch. God bless you.